When most people think of the Silk Road, they imagine caravans, spices, or silk. But one of the most powerful forces moving across Asia wasn't a product at all. It was language. For thousands of miles, people who had never met and who didn't share a common tongue needed ways to communicate. So today, I'm exploring the linguistics and translators of the Silk Road, the people who made this ancient global network actually work. The Silk Road was never just one road, and it was never just one language. Historical evidence shows a constant interchange of people, culture, and especially language. If you walk through a Silk Road market, you might hear Chinese spoken next to Sogdian, followed by Tibetan, Persian, Sanskrit, or Khotanese. Many of these languages show up in real artifacts: letters, contracts, religious manuscripts, and even coins. One powerful example is a bilingual coin from the Kingdom of Khotan, with Chinese characters on one side and the Indian script Kharosthi on the other. It's proof that trade depended on being understood by more than one community. This multilingual environment meant everyone needed translators or interpreters just to buy goods, negotiate prices, or travel safely. One of the best places to see how languages interacted is the city of Dunhuang, at the edge of the Gobi Desert. Scholars describe Dunhuang as a major hub of cultural exchange, where Chinese travelers, Tibetan officials, Central Asian merchants, and Buddhist monks all crossed paths. Inside the famous library cave at Dunhuang, researchers discovered more than 40,000 manuscripts written in Chinese, Tibetan, Sanskrit, and Khotanese, and several other Silk Road languages. These texts show how monks translated Buddhist scriptures from India into Chinese and Tibetan, often working in teams because no single person knew every language needed. Travelers like the monk Shunzong relied on interpreters at every stage of their journey, moving through regions where the language changed again and again. Dunhuang wasn't just a stop along the Silk Road, it was one of the world's earliest translation centers. Even beyond manuscripts, the Magao caves at Dunhuang contained hundreds of inscriptions that prove how multilingual daily life was. A recent study analyzing 487 inscriptions found writing in Chinese, Tibetan, Sanskrit, Uyghur, Khotanese, and Sogdian. Some inscriptions mix languages in a single panel, for example, Tibetan donor names next to Chinese administrative notes, or Sanskrit mantras paired with Chinese translations. These inscriptions weren't just decorative, they were practical records, donations, religious dedications, official messages, or reminders carved into walls. Seeing multiple scripts side by side shows that people expected readers from different linguistic backgrounds to visit these caves. This wasn't just cultural exchange. This was everyday multilingual life. The Silk Road simply could not function without translators. Merchants needed interpreters to agree on prices or understand contracts. Diplomats needed them to prevent conflicts. And religious communities depended on translators to spread ideas, especially Buddhism, which moved from India through Central Asia into China through enormous translation efforts. The linguistic evidence from manuscripts, coins, and inscriptions shows that communication, not just trade, shaped the Silk Road's history. In the end, the real glue of the Silk Road wasn't silk or spices. It was the people who bridged languages, connected cultures, and made this ancient world speak to itself.